Okay, we are online. Thank you so much for doing this, my great friends Ciccio, Francesco. Let's start. Let me start asking you where you were born, where you are living now, and maybe some story that connects those two places.
Well, first of all, thank you for calling me. And well, I was born in Rome in the 1970, and now I'm living in Ibiza. It's 8 years that I'm living here now. And as you know, I've been traveling a lot. We met actually in Brazil, in Rio, where I've been living for 10 years, more or less. And the thing that brought me here is that I think that after traveling so much, here in Ibiza is like traveling standing still. All the world pass by, and there is more or less everything you're looking for. So I'm getting older, I have less energy, and this is the easiest way for me to enjoy life.
Wow, the traveling while standing still was a great metaphor.
I
Look,
think this
Ciccio,
is the magic thing about Ibiza, actually, that all the world pass by here. And
I was talking to. I'm very interested in locations and how these places impacts in the decisions that we make in our life. Boring aspects of businesses, like you should, taxes and accounting and things like this, and where would be the best place to set up a business, and based on these ugly or boring metrics. And he turned it to me and said, look, you have to choose to live in a place not because of taxes or anything, like this is rich people's problem. You have to choose a place where you would like to live. So where would you like to live? That should be your goal. So you set up a goal for you that was to go live in Ibiza. And but I believe there was like a lot of challenges in actually accomplishing this goal, right? So how it was from the moment you decided, okay, this is where I want to live, and actually managing to go and live there.
look, Mauro, you know me. I think that if we are trying to be motivating someone, we are on the wrong path because I always thought that I was a very lucky man. So uh, somehow it looks to me that it happened in a quite natural way. Of course, for sure, I had all the cards in my hand when I had when arrived the time to choose choose which kind of life I wanted to have. So this is part of the luck. And then for me, has been working in a very simple way. I always thought, as the guy you were talking to before, that once you choose where you live, when you wake up where you want to be, half of your problem are away. So, of course, all the other choices, I mean, all the other possibilities you have about jobs, about loves, about whatever condition of life are less important than the quality of life you want to have. I mean, especially in Brazil, I've been meeting lots of people that love to surf, to be surfers, and for them was, I mean, Rio de Janeiro is a fantastic place, but for them, sometimes was more interesting. I mean, gave them more satisfaction to live in a horrible place in Hawaii, but had the chance to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go surfing. And at the end, it's all about quality of life. And of course, the big question is which is the definition of quality of life? How much money you have, how much time you have to like spare time, free time, where you are. And I mean, this is the big question. Everyone has his own answer, I think. For me, this was the reason why I arrived here. I tried many places, lots of them beautiful, where I could be living at the moment. But when I first came to Ibiza, after a while, I always thought that this was the perfect place for me. And so it was quite natural. It takes a really long time, but it was quite natural, the process.
What are this quality of life? What are the let's say the metrics of what is this quality of life for you?
For me, the quality of life is to live in a place where the climate is good. It's not like very very cold. I don't like that. Where the time that you have free, you can use it uh, in an easy way and enjoy it. So here could be the beaches or the parties. And now I'm old. I'm not going partying much. But when I go, I'm sure that I'm going to the best party of my life always. And the same with like today is the 7th of October. I've been having lunch on the beach with a few friends. Everybody comes to visit me in Ibiza. So also if I'm not in Rome, my friends are passing by. And each time they are coming, it's for me like to be on holiday. Also, if then I'm living here and I'm having actually a really quiet life, except for the all this problem we have the COVID. But normally, I have a very quiet life. But being in Ibiza, to make it more exciting is very easy. Just the idea satisfies sometimes. It's enough satisfying.
Yes. So and this is so like people will probably listen to us instead of watching us, right? But I can see the smile on your face when you talk about where the place that you live and the life that you are living. Um, and being your friend for such a long time, I know that you are a joyful person. And but what I wanted to ask actually is this: like, you look like you achieved your goal, right? and
Yeah.
and this satisfaction, it's like a lot of people try to reach satisfaction, and it's like they never get there, and when they get there, they don't enjoy it, and they keep wanting more, and when I talk to you, when I see you, you seem to have you seem to be enjoying how. And okay, and I want to connect this with the world that we are living right now. So do you think it's possible for people to get this satisfaction and be happy, or like, can we do that in this world, or some people are simply going to be unhappy and not enjoy their rides?
Um, allora, first of all, I think that world is very different. I mean, the world where we are living now is very different from 20, 30, 40 years ago. Everything is faster now, quicker. You're always online. And this makes it much more difficult because before uh, we had as a sample, as a goal to reach what we had next to us. So it could be the boy next door that had nicer shoes to play football or something easy. Today you are comparing yourself, your life with all the world, and what you see of all the world is the best of the best of the best. Sometimes also if it's unreal. So this complicates things a lot. To me, the turning point was when my father got sick and he was going to die. We had pharmacy, and everything starts from there. His father leave him a pharmacy that at the time was a kind of gold mine. And when he was dying, I've been working in the pharmacy for a while, uh, and the business was going very well. But I was very unhappy because, I mean, now it's a bit different. They are selling beauty cream and whatever. Before was medicine. So I was living and having money from people that, of course, was not happy to spend that money, and it was a really dark energy for me. Like instead, if you are selling champagne, people come there, spend millions of dollars in champagne, but I mean, maybe one day they will think that they were stupid, but when they're spending that, they're all very happy. Once they was coming to buy medicine for his dad or his mother or people that was dying, was giving me lots of money, but the energy was very bad. So I told my father, very honestly, look, if I'm very glad you leave me this as an option, but I don't think I will do this work for all my life. And then in the beginning, he was thinking about, and then after a while, after 2, 3, 4 weeks, I don't remember, he was already very sick and said me, let's take me to my favorite restaurant. We went there having lunch, and he said, well, I'm leaving you an option, so try to use it well. While instead, my father left to me a jail that, of course, gave us money and everything, but that I never had an option to do something different. Maybe I would have preferred. So from then on, I thought that I had all, as I said in the beginning, I have all the cards on my hand, and was just not to uh, throw it throw it away. So it's very difficult for me to end the day or to wake up in the morning and not be happy, because I had a beautiful life and I won't regret anything. Also, the bad moments are part of it, but I am where I want to be, and I still have a few good projects that could make my life even better. And
Wow.
I really trust in that.
That was a beautiful story, Ciccio. And I know you have an amazing restaurant in Ibiza and you are serving people with happiness every day, or at least during the summer. Like, you can tell us a little bit if it's going to be open during the winter. I've been there when it was under construction. Unfortunately, the pandemic prevented me from celebrating my birthday there this year, but
And
wait
mine
for
as
me,
well.
I'm coming next year. um, so, Ciccio, the story that you told us, um, it was very interesting to me. The first aspect that you said, that before it was the things that we would look for, or create our expectations based on things that were closer to us and maybe more reachable. And now things are, because everything is global, and you can see, you have to compare yourself always with the best of the best, and that may create these huge expectations for ourselves, right? And this can be more than a source of motivation, maybe a source of frustration, which is maybe that's what you're saying, right? Like, it's
Yes,
I remember this talk that I saw once, talking about choices, and when you are offered too many choices, the people
it's more
think
difficult.
that, like, choice is freedom, but actually too many choices become such a source of frustration, because, like, then
Definitely,
if you have all these choices, you have to make the perfect choice, and then, like, it's difficult to
definitely. I
make
think
the
this
perfect choice, and and then you actually get frustrated. So if you had lesser choices, you could be happier, because like, oh, okay, I did the best that I could with the options that I was given, like, and
For sure, 100%. This is the problem. When you were talking before about people that is never satisfied, their problem is exactly this one, that they have too many choices. I had few friends that wherever we could be, they knew that there was something else happening somewhere else. And also, if we were having our best time ever, our mind was telling them, maybe on the other place, in the other place, they are having even better time. And this was continuously. So they were never stopping and saying, well, I'm happy here. I'm having good time. I'm meeting nice people, or there is nice people to meet. No, because their head was already, okay, we got here. We are cool because we arrived here, but there is something else. And that's destroy your life. I mean, it's like running around without reaching anything, like the dogs that are chasing in the dog's race the
the
rabbit.
carrot,
They will
the
never get there.
rabbit.
Yeah, they will never get there. And so what I like, what always worked for me is to try to understand where you are, with who you are, and takes the best possible from it. Actually, for me here in Ibiza, it's very easy. That's maybe the real reason why I love to be here. But when I stayed in Rio de Janeiro, when I live in Rio de Janeiro, it was the same. I mean, there are things. Each place has its own beautiful things, and not every person, but there are lots of person that has something beautiful inside. So if you can stop, relax, see what there is around you, most of the time you can find something special, I think.
Okay, I want to take on something that you said now, that every person has something interesting and beautiful inside them. And because I know you, and this is something that I admire and at the same time envy in you, is your ability uh, um, to interact with whoever, right? And I'm like, for people that are listening to us, like, whoever you could, when we were, like, living in Rio at the same time, you could play foot volley at the beach with the kids from favela, and then at night go to like the fanciest dinner ever with um, political figures, or go with me to a carnival block, or like in flip flops and shorts, drinking cheap beer, and or to the fanciest club at night, maybe in the same interval of 24 hours, right? So you have this, and I've seen that in other places, in Rome, in Ibiza. So you have this ability of being comfortable around any kind of people, in spite of their let's say origin, social status, or beliefs, or anything. This is an ability. How do you and I believe this is a key ability to make a better world and a better future. Maybe this is even related um, um, with something that you said before. If we could relate better, or interact better with other people, we could be more in peace with ourselves. So, can you what allows you, in your opinion, to interact with all this wide range of different people, in different cultures, countries, and everything?
Uh, uh, Thank you, because this is the biggest compliments I can receive ever. And actually, I think is the only thing I've learned in my life. If there is something that I've learned is exactly this. I always loved to travel, and I mean, traveling is exactly this, to try to understand the behave, the culture of the others. And so if you meet nice people, it doesn't matter if it's from the favela or is a politician. If he's a nice person, he's a nice person. So it it comes naturally to interact with them in the easiest way, with I mean with respect and interest, really being curious to see from where they come, what they think, why. If you catch the goodness of the people deep inside, then everything is acceptable. And this is my way to travel around life, maybe, if you want to say it in a poetical way.
But you know that I I'm going to make a kind of huge confession here, because um, this curiosity that you talk about, I think this is the key, and this is something very difficult to teach, right? I'm not sure you can teach this
No,
curiosity, and if and it's also many times difficult to be authentic, right? So it has to be authentic, otherwise it's a
definitely.
fake curiosity, maybe is
Ah,
worse than no
worse,
curiosity, than
definitely.
no curiosity at all. And i I would hesitate to label me as a non-curious person, but I think uh, um, I had a journey, or there was a moment in my life that I had very little self-confidence. That's not the case anymore. I think I'm a very self-confident person now, but um, somehow, when I'm going to interact, there are moments that I'm very shy, and I think that this shyness has to do with being afraid of not being interesting enough for other people. And that makes me do also the opposite movement, that like if I'm not going to be interesting enough for this other person, maybe they are not going to be interesting enough for me too. And that puts me in a place of like looking like arrogant, that
Yeah.
I resent. Like it's and I don't know, I'm opening my heart a little bit here, because it's yes, it's something that I constantly work on, how to be better, and to show this authentic curiosity that I think that I have. But that's definitely maybe not as curious as yours, because also, like, I probably have curiosity about so many other things in life, but not so much about the people. You have this authentic curiosity about people, and that's what makes you probably like distinguishingly good at these interactions.
Ah,
Ciccio, can
thank
you
you.
tell us a little bit about these other projects that you said that you still have to try to make your life still better? Like,
Um, Look, it's very easy. It's very easy. Actually, now I think I'm gonna get married next year in October for the third time, and this will be the last one for sure, with a girl that makes me very happy, complete me 100%. So uh, I don't know the word
wow,
in English, but overwhelming happy about this. And then I'm starting now. Well, I started many years ago, but it will really start in a few months. What I think it will be my last big project, that is to build my own house. I bought years ago a piece of land where there was nothing except for figs and olive tree, and there I would put all that I've done in these 50 years of life to do my house, really. a lugar.
A
No? I don't know
home,
how to say
right?
it in
Yeah,
English. The home. I mean, your
a
place.
home. Yes.
I always have the small family, so not much tradition and everything. So it will be my seeds for for the future. For me, it's a big project, and it's something easy because at the end you have to think about things that are reachable. We can go back to the thing we were saying before. If you look at the impossible things, the best thing in life, people that buy Ferrari or yachts of 120 meters every day, then it's difficult to get satisfied. So each one has its own goal. That can be next holiday, weekend, whatever. A party with friends, dinner with the loved one. Everything is worth it to be celebrate with as much as happiness as possible.
This is this is incredible. No, there's this. I don't know how old is this saying, but that expectations is the mother of all fuck ups, right? So
Esatto.
the right the right expectation is key to a happy life, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And
if
you
the
know
best you can have
what is
today is a nice sunset, it's there. I mean, and you will be
that's it.
the happiest man on earth.
And it's so interesting because, like being a biologist and knowing a little bit about neuroscience, I know the underlying biochemical mechanism of expectation, and how it deals with it. It's amazing. So I've even told this story before in the podcast, but it's an amazing example. So when you go to a store and you find like your preferred brand of coffee, and you can already imagine how it's going to be to drink that coffee. So this particular moment, you created an expectation. So from that on, dopamine is going to build up in your brain until the moment you are going to realize that expectation, right? And if the coffee is amazing, you still have a peak of dopamine. But if the coffee is bad, like the milk was spoiled, then you have a drop in dopamine that gives you that big frustration. So in the end, the the size of the dopamine, uh, how much dopamine you accumulated created this expectation is going to affect the pleasure and the frustration. No, so
Of
like
course.
no expectation, no no drop in dopamine,
Exactly.
but also no peak. So it has to be really balanced to prevent like the wrong expectation and no
Uh,
pleasure of accomplishment at all, which is also very
no,
important.
no. First, see, for sure, it's a miracle. Every time it's a miracle because if there was a scientific formula, we all use it. So for sure, it's a
Yes.
miracle every time.
Wow,
But still,
there are some formulas that can improve this, right?
well,
That can guarantee
some
this.
some of them I think I've tried it. No, but anyway, the point is just like we said before. I already start from a higher point because I choose where I want to wake up in the morning. So I always
Yes.
I s- I already wake up with a comfortable stadium, let's say. With I already feel satisfied from that. So then it's just balance it. Of course, I mean, if you expect for 100 every day and you have 50, it can be frustrating. But if you were waiting for 50 and you got 60, you're fucking happy.
Yes. Chichu, before I let you go, I have like three very short questions. And it's like a survey of my own and to help people relate to the experience that everyone has. So, which book are you reading? Are you reading something right now? And what are you reading right now?
Actually, I at the moment I'm reading nothing special. The last good book I've read, well, I've read last year for sure a very interesting book about Mussolini, kind of romance biography from left and right. writer. Very interesting because there was part of the history that I didn't know, like the way he got to the power, and very interesting, like an historical book.
Great. The second question is, do you take long or short lunch breaks?
I try to take long lunch breaks, especially if I'm with friends, like today that we had lunch at 2 o'clock, and I just got back here for this conversation with you, and I arrived late. So for 4 hours of lunch breaks, it seems enough, and I could be there a few more hours actually.
That's like the recipe for the happiness. The third
Well, in
question,
Rio de Janeiro is quite used, it's quite
yes.
normal.
Well, we had some of them in how is the fish place in Guaratiba?
Oh, da
Chia,
birra, no,
da bira.
da birra, el otro arriba. Bueno, estos
Very, very long lunch breaks in
long,
the bira.
beautiful lunch breaks, I would say.
Yes. Chicho, the last question is Bitcoin. Are you a believer or a non-believer?
No, I'm no non-believer, but not because I don't believe. Because when I thought I could be interested, I thought it was too difficult for me. I'm very, uh, how do you say, pigro? Very lazy, already too old for this thing. But I have lots of friends that got crazy with it.
Okay. So thank you so much for doing this. It was, emotional moments for me. It was so the message of expectations was beautiful, and my expectation is very, very reachable. I want to go to Ibiza every year. Like
It's the
that's a
same I have. So
goal
I hope to see
in
you
my
here
life.
soon.
Yes. Thank you, my friend.
So we can make each other happy very easily. Come soon as possible.
Thank you.
Ciao, Mauro.